Walaikum Assalam. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? I am fine. How are you? And I am also fine. Although I warn you, this time is very cold weather, so take care of yourselves. Okay, sit down first. Sit down. And always wear the hot clothes and always cover your ears. Okay. Why not wear a cap? You must wear a woolen cap. Okay. This time the winter is very hot, and you can see the weather is very cold. You can also realize. Yes, sir. Okay. So wear every times the hot and hot clothes. So let's move in our class. Today is the 17th January. You know that. Yes, sir. First of all, give me the attendance. Okay. Roll 1, 2, plus by 3.
Yes, sir.
4.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 5. 6.
Well, sir.
Sit down. So, well, you know that we have already completed a chapter of physics, the gravitation. Okay, and today I want to start a new chapter, but I will not give you the name. I do not mention the name of the chapters myself. You have to guess what will be the chapter's name. Okay, by listening the introduction. You have already studied the atoms and molecules.
Yes, sir.
Atoms and molecules. That
Yes,
is
sir.
the chapter number 3 of chemistry.
Yes.
And that chapters, you know that after studying that chapters, after completing the chapters, we have known that atoms are indivisible particles.
Yes, sir.
What is the basic definition of atoms, Rakib? Tell me.
Atoms are indivisible particles which cannot be created or destroyed.
Reaction.
That means atoms are indivisible particles. We have known that atoms are indivisible particles and which cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. Okay, sit down. This is the basic definitions of atoms. And also we have studied the Darwin's theory.
Yes, sir.
About the atoms, and in that theory we have studied the same things, that atoms are indivisible. That means atoms cannot be divided into more small pieces.
Yes, sir.
Atoms are the smallest pieces in matter. Okay, you can see this is a duster. This duster is made of wood and rubber, or the rubber types materials, and this is the chalk. This is also made up by some materials, calcium oxide. Okay, this is the attendance register. This is also made of some material, that is paper. Okay, this pen is made up of plastic. These are all materials. And we know that materials are made up of atoms. Materials are made up of atoms. Every matter or every materials are made up of atoms. At the 18th century, before 18th century, it was known that atoms cannot be divided. But at the finishing time of 18th century, when the electricity or the static charge discovered, or electricity, when the scientists started the experiment with static charge or the conduction of electricity between or in different substances, they get confused about the atoms. We already studied atoms and we know that atoms have no charge. It does not get any information about the atomic charge. That means atoms have no charge. But when scientists see that electric current conducted in different materials under different conditions, and also when we fixed some materials with another materials, their charged particles produce. Then they get confused. How these charged particles produce where the atoms have no charge?
Yes.
They already consider that atoms have no charge. But when they experiment with the electricity or the static charge, they find the materials can have the charge. Then they confused how these materials can have the charge. Okay, this confusion started a new breakthrough in physics, and the first scientist who actually discovered that atoms are not indivisible particles, and he was the J.J. Thomson. He first showed that atoms are not indivisible particles. Atoms also can divide. Today, I will discuss with you the J.J. Thomson's experiment. But before starting this experiment, what is my intention? Tell me, what is the chapter's name should be here? What I want to discuss with you?
Structure of atom.
What I want to discuss with you?
Structure of atom.
The structure of atom. Okay, that we already studied that atoms cannot be divided. But now it is found that atoms also can be divided. So we need to study how the atoms are formed. That means the atomic structure. Okay, today in this class our main topic is atomic structure, or the chapter's name is atomic structure. Okay, let's write in your notebook the chapter's name, atomic structure. Atomic structure. Okay. And what is the chapter number? Do you know?
4.
Chapter number 4 in our chemistry syllabus. This is the chapter number 4, atomic structure. And what is the Bengali meaning of atomic structure? Anyone can tell me? Atom means paramanu and structure means bottom. So paramanu bottom. Atomic structure. Okay, sit down. Very good. Okay, give me a book also. Textbook. In 1897, J. Thomson performed an experiment which is known as cathode ray experiment. Before starting this very important and vital experiment to understand the atomic structure, I want to do a simple activity to make you understand that all matters have the charge particles. All matters have the charge particles. Okay. And this is the first confusion. I already said you, this is the first confusion that matters have can charge particles. This confusion led the scientists to experiment that what is the charge particles, how the charge particles can have the atoms or can have the matters. Okay, then they started the experiment or find out the theories how the atoms can be made up. Okay, so this is the form you can see here, and let's give you to come over here. Please come over here. I can also come, but let's come 3 or 4 times. Now this is the form here. I take this comb near to the pieces of paper on the table. You can see. No, this is not work. Okay, who have the comb his hair without oil?
Yes.
Dry hair. Who have the dry hair? Dry hair. Okay, you come from particular. Now let's remove this comb to the pieces of paper. What will happen? Okay, nothing has happened. That means this is the no charge produced here. Let's say take this pen. Okay, I rub this pen with my hair so many times. Let's see what will happen when I take this pen near to the paper. Now look at the paper. Look at the paper. This paper will be attracted by this pen.
Yes.
Okay, look at the paper. This paper tends to attract with this pen. Look at here. Everyone, look at here. What will happen here? The paper is now attract with this pen, with the end of this pen. Okay. Why this happen actually? This is happening here due to the production of static electric charge. Due to the production of static electric charge in paper and pen also. And you know that two opposite type charge always attract each other. That means here two opposite type charge particles produce. But ask yourself, if the atoms are neutral, then how these charge particles can be produced? That means atoms may be neutral, but charge particles also present in atom. Charge particles also present here. Okay, to find out these charge particles, J. Thomson started an experiment in 1897 and he discovered cathode ray. Let's move in this experiment to a detailed analysis. Okay, J. Thomson first take an glass tube. Take a glass